So some people have been here on LinkedIn probably for years, others are probably newbies, but really, I mean, even though I've been doing these sessions every Tuesday, this is really the key one, because like anything, you really need to get the foundation right. And LinkedIn has evolved so much over the years that really a lot of people just don't know where to start. They keep evolving it. But creating your profile and updating your profile really gives you the good foundations, and it gives you a good scoring point, because LinkedIn do score most things that you do. And if you don't have what they class as an all-star profile, that could limit your post reach as well. So again, more things to know about LinkedIn, but hey ho, here we go. So the 15 basic steps, I'm going to go onto my profile and run you through these rather than just show you a boring list. And I've got the list in front of me, hopefully I won't keep wandering. So first of all, let me just bring up my profile. I'll get rid of WhatsApp. So first thing is your name. Now, really, really basic, but to have your name. Now, the reason I've got Maureen Kane Videopreneur is because I probably had that in for 3 or 4 years. And even though I do LinkedIn and videos, I was only really leading with video marketing. So if you're going to put a name, the first key point is do not put emojis in front of your name. If you want to change it, certainly put them after, but don't put it in front of it, because if somebody searches for you or tries to tag you, it will stop that. So if you're going to put anything in your name, sometimes LinkedIn will let you, some people say it won't, but if somebody searches for a video, typically by having video or whatever you do in your name can help it come up. It's up to you if you want to do that or not. But for me, it's certainly got me a lot of business for videos. And again, I've tried to change this to LinkedInpreneur, but it won't let me. So hey ho, but you can always try. So if, for example, you are Sally, a signpreneur or whatever you want to be, it's worthwhile maybe trying. Again, just anything to make you stand out, because LinkedIn's got millions of people. So again, your name is key, but no emojis in front of your name, whatever you do. Second thing is a photo. Obviously, you can see this looks so much like me. This is actually me it was about 6 months ago, I think. But try and obviously, for obvious reasons, have a photo that looks quite like you, not one from 20 years ago, because then when you do a Zoom call, which we all have to do, people are going to be like, who the hell is that? Even though I had a bit better suntan then. So 2 is photo, 3 is banner. Now, I just updated my banner today. So a banner is absolutely essential. I do mine in Canva. You don't need to do it in Canva, but the reason I do it in Canva is so easy for me to update. If anybody wants the banner, it's not something I do as a business, but certainly if people want to pay me to do a banner, I'll do it for them. But again, you can do it yourself in Canva. A couple of key things in the banner. Again, keyword, well, I've not mentioned keywords. So keyword LinkedIn visibility is all over my profile. I've got 2 websites I run. I've got my email address, message me, simple things telling people what to do. So a banner is essential, and my new lovely LinkedIn Breakfast Club icon, which I love. Fourth thing, which is absolutely, I think this is one of the most important things, is a catchy headline. Now, I change mine every single month, sometimes every single week. But I mean, I would love just to have increased visibility on LinkedIn, but then I think, like all you, I do this and I do that. So I've tried to keep it as short as possible, but really it shouldn't be any longer than that, because really it'll just get lost in the noise. So, and every time you connect, every time you comment, every time you do anything, people will see your face, your name, and this. So this is so important. It doesn't just say MD or whatever your job title is. Change it so it's not your job title. It's more like your tagline. And again, I would try and have your keyword in there. So if it's visibility on LinkedIn, or if it's health coach, or if it's IT, I would make sure that's on your profile, again, because the LinkedIn search system, but also on Google, because a lot of the things on LinkedIn rank on Google. And again, I would change that every single month. So again, really simple things, but these things will make a difference. And again, if you keep posting, and with the Breakfast Club engagement, you're going to be seen a lot more. So you want to make sure you're being seen for the right thing. These 2, for obvious reasons, should match up, your headline and your banner. I've seen it. I looked at a few people's in the group today, and their banner said one thing, their headline said something else, and they're saying to me they're not getting any sales. So I'm just like, it needs to all be intermingled, because again, it's all about getting one straight message that people can really remember you in a busy high street. It's kind of like, look at me. If it's all different, they won't recognize you. So number 5, I think is really important, is linked to your company. So a lot of people, if you're an employee, again, linking it to the company you work for. If you're self-employed, making sure you've got a company page. I've got 2, which makes it confusing. But most time, anybody that connects to me, I will look at their name and I will click on their company so I can look at the company page to see what they do. So make sure it links in, because again, you know, people want to look at what you do, and again, that could generate leads. So company pages are essential, even though you might not do much activity. Again, they rank on Google, and you know, people might quickly want to look at what you're doing. So if you haven't set up a company page, highly advise it. You could use a version of the banner for that. It takes 2 minutes to set up. But again, make sure that's in your profile, because again, people will look at that and people want to connect. I mean, I vet every single person I connect with. I will look at the name, look at the profile, otherwise they're not getting in. So, I mean, look at the company, because especially there's so many people trying to steal people's connections. It's really important you check. The 6th thing is really important, is to 500 connections plus. If you don't have 500 connections plus, you're probably not going to get past my connection, because that's one of the things I look for. I think you're a bot. If you've got less than 500 connections, you don't look that credible. So I know there's a few new people, so that's something really to work on, because once you've got 500 plus connections, it just shows 500. So if you've got like 130, you look like a newbie. And again, if you're saying you're an expert in social media, which I seen someone today and they had 130 connections, I would think maybe not. So again, try and get that past 150. That's number 6. Number 7, I feel like a bingo caller, is the contact info. Again, simple things, but just make sure you've got your website address. I've got Calendly on mine. You've got your phone number. You've got your email address. And unfortunately, you do get people emailing you from this that you don't want, but sometimes you get good emails. So just make sure your contact information is up to date. It's number 7. And number 8, which is linked to contact. If you haven't got a custom URL, I would get a custom URL, just because, again, it's easy for you to put in your email, easy for you to put on easy for you to remember, but that's basically your own personal LinkedIn tagline. It could be your name, could be your company, could be anything. And if you go to settings under public profile, you can change that. So that was number 8. So all straightforward so far. Any questions? Hi, Paula. Glad you made it. So now moving down my profile, again, looking at the about section or the summary section, this is absolutely crucial. Every single piece of this pie or piece of the puzzle will give you what's called, where does LinkedIn say it? All-star profile. You need to have an all-star profile. So you must have an about section. And this really is a chance, again, to use keywords. Where is it? So about section. For me, I start off with a personal line, because again, it is a human-to-human platform, and I do love travel when I can, but I can't do much traveling right now, traveling around my living room. But I think, you know, again, most people will read a little bit about this. I don't think you need to put War and Peace, but you want to have, again, the keywords that you're using, because it will show up in the LinkedIn search. And I do get people come to me that basically search for LinkedIn lead generation or LinkedIn marketing, and they come to me. So again, I've got something personal to start with, just to make me more like a person. On this talking of first person, don't talk about company or we, talk about you. You're talking to person. And I've just got a little bit about, you know, some of the things I can help people with, and a bit of experience. I don't have loads of stuff. I don't think War and Peace, you want to put enough to spark a conversation with somebody. That makes sense. And again, the key thing is the keywords. So again, the same keywords in your headline, banner, about section. And this is going to really help you show up on the LinkedIn search and also get known. The 10th thing is feature. So feature is a relatively new feature on LinkedIn. And this is where you can feature loads of things. It's really good. And if you've got visual products, it's a great way to do that. You can feature posts. So I've just changed mine today. You can feature articles, which are on LinkedIn. You can feature it, you can link it to your website, any online articles, any videos you've got. You can put up to, I think I've got about 15, but realistically, your first 5 are what people are going to see. And you can also reorder them, so you can move them around. and put your top ones first, etc. So I've got some videos, I've got various different things. But again, which I'll talk about later, it's essential you update this every month, because again, this is one of the key things people will see when they look at your profile. So you could have your website, you could have a link to Calendly, you could have a really good post that talks about how great you are, or recommendations, something like that. And that's really important. And that's a great thing that LinkedIn have done recently, but it doesn't need to be on LinkedIn. So it could be external as well to your websites. And number 11, which anybody that's been in the Breakfast Club for a while will know about, is your actual activity. So again, LinkedIn lurkers typically will have all the profiles set out, but they will never post. So activity, it's nice to see that people have got some activity. So posting a couple of times a week, is really going to make that look like you're doing something. And again, anybody can click on and see your activity unless you block that. Number 12, I'm not going to go into this in great detail. This is kind of more like your CV part, but you can add videos, etc. But really you want to make sure this is filled in, it's got some of your previous roles and education, School of Life. There we go. So that is number 12. So 13, which again is quite important, that you update this regularly. Quite a lot of this is kind of something that a lot of people don't use, but it's still, the more endorsements you've got will help show you higher on the LinkedIn search. So if somebody's looking for example, an IT supplier, a signage supplier, a finance director, the more endorsements you've got for that specific skill, put them in. So today, for example, I've added in LinkedIn mentoring, but I've already got, so what I would suggest you do after this is just look at what you've got. If you don't have anything, I would add some in. It takes 2 minutes. And if you do have some, look at your top skills. Are they relevant to what you're doing now? Because I'm going to knock one of them out. I haven't decided, and put LinkedIn mentoring in there. But then make sure you can put top 3 as your top skills. These are the ones you want people to endorse you for. And maybe next week I'll kind of say to all the Breakfast Club, let's try and endorse each other. Because the more you have of these, again, LinkedIn will think you're a kind of a great account, and they will put you higher up the search. And we are on number 14. So similar recommendations. Again, every week I try and get 1 or 2 recommendations. Again, more activity, fresh activity. LinkedIn loves you for keep going back and updating you. So they'll probably show your posts to more people if you update your profile regularly, and you'll probably appear higher in the search. So again, even if you have a one-to-one, you give them something for free advice, you've got any clients, try and ask for recommendations, because again, it does speak for itself. If you've got a lot of recommendations, somebody that doesn't have any recommendations, it makes them potentially a little bit uncredible. That makes sense. And the 15th, we're here already, believe it or not. So there is a couple of other things, such as interests. There is also, in fact, there's charities. I'll just go to other ones. So you can add in other sections as well. Volunteering, you can add in projects. There's a couple that you can add in certificates. Again, depending on what you do, some of these might be really important. Like Paula, for you, for example, some of the projects or certificates, some of these might be something you can add in. But that's not my 15th. The 15th one that I would say is that you should join as many LinkedIn groups as possible. Now, even though LinkedIn groups to some degree is dead, and I've got the LinkedIn Breakfast Club group and I try and direct you all there, but nobody goes. But the reason why you should join LinkedIn Breakfast Club, obviously you know that. The reason why you should join groups on LinkedIn is, rather than pay for Navigator, Chris, rather Sales Navigator, if you join 50 groups, you can actually, your second connections will be the group members. So you probably don't need to pay for Navigator. And I know that people use Navigator for different reasons, but if you're using it to widen your search, if you join lots of groups, I'm a member of 50 groups, I believe. And yes, I don't even go into any of them anymore, just show you. But what it does, it gives me a wider connection rate. So let me just see. So it's worthwhile joining a few big groups in your sectors. And again, for anybody new that joins, if they ask me to do some LinkedIn lead generation for them, I will probably say the first thing I'll do to your account is join groups, because if you say to me, connect to 1,000 people a month and you've got 100 connections, Your second degree connection is going to be really slow. So I love a bit of the Irish. So I've got loads of Irish, Glasgow, so technology, property, startups. So if you join some big groups in your sector, and again, I need to update this, but if you can join up to 50 groups, it's really going to widen your reach of second degree connections. So you might not need to spend that £70 a month on Sales Navigator. I'm sure I can help you find that as a way to spend that. But does that make sense about the groups? And it's so easy to join groups. If you go to work over here on the right, then go to groups, you can basically search for groups. So this will show you what groups you're in. Does it show you what groups you can join? Got so many. Otherwise, you can search up here. Let's say, for example, you want to join a finance group. If you type in anything in the search, then you can bring it up here. And again, 31, if I was in finance, I'd be thinking 1.4 million, hey, I'd be joining them. So again, and you can look at ones that have got, in fact, I might even join some, but it's worthwhile updating this every quarter. Look at some old groups and not so much the people that are in there, but is it relevant to what you're doing? Because again, you might have joined in 5 years ago, like I did. So if you update that, so that's going to give you a great second base connection. And really that is the 15 kind of key things to get an all-star profile. I'm just going to run through these again very quickly before I go into the second point, which is keeping it up to date. Because I think it's great if you get an all-star profile, but you need to make sure it's constantly updated. So again, number one was the name, no emojis, do whatever you like after. The headline, keep it short and sweet. Pick some keywords that you're going to focus on throughout your profile. Add the keywords to your banner, to your headline, to your about section, your summary section. Make sure your company is linked to your company page. If you don't have one, create one. It takes 2 minutes, it's free. And make sure you look at what's featured. Is it really showcasing what you're selling? So let's say we're in February, you might think, right, I'm going to pick one product really or service and really push for that. Make sure that that's aligned to your featured. The other thing in the about section, make sure also you're talking to your target market. If you're targeting marketing people, make sure you're trying to mention them again, because that will appear, that'll help you appear as well. Experience, make sure you've got some previous job experience in there, or some education if you're just out of education. Endorsements, update these or add some if you don't have any, and make sure your top 3 is relevant. Recommendations, try and get some again, even if you've done a favor for somebody, it's worthwhile. And the last one was groups, and also your contact information. That's the 15, short and sweet. I'm just going to go back to my slides. See, I'm nearly on time. So all that's pretty straightforward, but it does take time. That's the thing. It sounds easy, but again, if you spent half an hour every month thinking, right, what's my LinkedIn strategy? Who's my target market? Let's just quickly check my profile, run through it, make sure everything's up to date. It will probably help your post be seen by the right people. So it's probably worth spending that hour. Every single month, I would, again, when I'm thinking who's my target market, and I do run LinkedIn like a lead generation machine. It's like a campaign. So February, I'm running a specific campaign and I'm targeting a specific set of people, luxury and B2C clients. And I'm going to be creating content around those people. And I'm going to then change my banner to that. I've just changed it, but also update my summary, update my headline, and change the featured item, as I said. If you do that every single month, that again, LinkedIn shows that you're active. They want people to be active. Again, they'll reward you because they want people on the LinkedIn platform, because then they can help sell your details or help attract expensive advertisers, if that makes sense. And that's pretty much it to some degree. I mean, any questions? I'm just going to stop sharing my screen a little bit.
Maureen, can I just ask about the company pages? Because I set one up 2 years ago and it was a mission. And they were asking me all kinds of things like, can you prove you're an officer of the company and all this kind of stuff? Have they changed it?
Well, I've set up probably about 50 for people, and I've never done that. I mean, I guess it depends what. Let me just go in. I've set up so many, and I've never. Takes me literally 5 minutes. Let me just go into.
Yeah. Okay, I'll try again then.
And you can also do a showcase page as well. So if you maybe didn't want to class this, I mean, like the Breakfast Club isn't a legal company, but I mean, I've still got a company page, and you know, I put content on that, and it is as much as I say post from your personal page, it's worthwhile putting content up there weekly, because I mean, in the last 30 days, I tag in the Breakfast Club and everything, as you probably know, but I do get followers every week from that. So yeah, it should only take you 2 minutes to set it up. Any problems, let me know. But again, you can link your profile to 2 pages.
Maureen, are you hashtagging the Breakfast Club when you say you're linking to it?
I personally don't use any. I mean, if I get massive, I will start. But I mean, I know different people have got different views on this, but it's a bit like doing hashtag Maureen Kane. Who's going to follow? I mean, okay, eventually people might start following hashtag Breakfast Club, hashtag Maureen Kane. But realistically, so many people try and get their own hashtag, but it doesn't really work out for them. I think it's a waste of time.
How do you mean then that people will come and follow you? Is that just because they'll go and look at your business and then choose to follow it?
Well, no, so I don't hashtag, I do @. So let me just go to a post. So I will do @the LinkedIn Breakfast Club. You'll have seen it because virtually every single post I do is LinkedIn. And that's because I mean you can't tag in, you can't really promote company pages unless you do pay per click, which is really expensive. So this is my kind of workaround.
Yeah,
I didn't put it in today's post, but and again, and you get penalised for doing external ones. But let's see, did I do it in this one? Didn't do it in that one, but you can guarantee probably every or post. There we go.
Oh.
So all you need to do is do @. And honestly, I'll get about 30 new followers a week. I've only been doing that for about 6 months, and I think I've got 50. But that's a great way to get company page followers and to keep getting your name out.
So do you then copy your post onto your business page as well?
I don't know. Normally once a week, I'll just put something up there. Sometimes it's the same, but I'll just put something up there weekly because, again, it shows up on if you Google LinkedIn Breakfast Club, one of the first pages is LinkedIn.
Okay, great.
So it's a good kind of SEO thing to do. And again, who knows, down the line, LinkedIn might invest more into company pages. So it's worthwhile. And again, if any new connections click on you, it's good to have it populated. So I would just put something on there weekly, but it doesn't really get the same organic growth that a personal post does. So it's kind of, that's why I tag it in.
Can I ask a question, Maureen?
Yeah.
I'm just, as you've been speaking, I've just been looking at my own profile. The featured links section, is that something you can only do on a laptop rather than your mobile device?
No, you can do it you can definitely do it on your mobile, but maybe it depends what version. I mean, I was actually doing on my mobile today. I mean, most things I do, I must say, I do on my laptop because I just find it so fiddly.
Yeah. I was just looking through and I could see the skills, the volunteer experience recommendations. There's nothing.
You know what? You might need to add in, Sally.
Featured links. Okay, cool.
Just go to you. Actually, if you don't have it, you need to add it in. So I'll just show you quickly. You need to add it as a profile section. So let me can you see my screen still?
Yeah.
So if you go to your profile,
you
need to add it in. So hold on, let me just add profile section.
Yeah.
So if you add profile section, then you can add in featured if you don't have that.
Brilliant.
Again, that was I've only been out about 6 months, but yeah, for you, that would be great for some visuals, etc.
Yeah. We've got a video for a virtual tour of the showroom and stuff, so that'd be brilliant.
Perfect. I mean,
thank you.
Any other questions? I think it's quite straightforward. And thank you all for watching. If you do, I will be uploading this to the new LinkedIn Breakfast Club YouTube channel. So if you want to get notified of any training, because obviously not everybody can make it, if you subscribe, you'll get notified. And if you do find this helpful, please give me a recommendation on LinkedIn. And I will do it back for you guys. So thank you so much for watching. Half an hour, bang on pretty much. Have a great day. Speak to you later. Bye, everybody.